the same people that committed the genocide 30 years ago. They're still there on your border. Their goal is to still replace you as president, replace the entire government right now, and to still get rid of Tutsis in Rwanda. So that's still their objective. And they're doing the same thing for Tutsis in Congo. So the argument that Rwanda has concerns, security concerns, and you're still getting attacked by those groups on a regular basis, is a very valid concern that no one's talking about for whatever reason. Then there's the other argument of minerals. So the way I see it is there's all these different hands, some corrupt, some good, some bad, that are, some of them committing horrendous crimes to get access to the minerals in Congo, because it's such a wealthy country. And there's no real way of doing business with Congo. So the way I see it is there is a financial incentive for the Rwandan military or the government to be involved in Congo as well.
This is the journey to one Africa.
They have the capacities like those people in the United States or like in Europe and so on.
Then why aren't they prospering in Congo? Congo is a perfect example that's happening today.
It's the politics of our continent.
It's just the system is so flawed.
It is just... Yeah.
The way I see it, so you have a history with Congo. Yeah. Obviously, a lot of Rwandan citizens migrated to Congo, escaped to Congo prior to 1994. A lot of Tutsis are there. Now, I don't want to use those terms now, but they're still being used in Congo. A lot of Tutsis prior to the genocide. After the genocide, a lot of Hutus as well. So there's a lot of Rwandan citizens in Congo.
But are those that, by the way, there are those bona fide citizens. Part of that Congo was carved out and left into Congo during colonial times during the Berlin Conference, when borders were being drawn.
So the Eastern Congo?
Yes.
Eastern Congo was a separate country or what before that?
No. I'm saying, when the borders were being drawn, like the border between us and Uganda, during colonial times, that is in the 1890s. Yes. So they drew a line. It was just an open place. They drew a line, left Rwanda on this side, what was later to be called Rwanda on one side, and the other side it was called Congo. But this line divided the families. Some of them Rwandan, even related, were left on one side and others on the other side.
It's crazy.
We have a similar situation with Uganda, by the way.
Uganda and Rwanda?
Yeah, Rwanda, yes. Southwestern part of Uganda, a place with about 1 million people. They are typically Rwandan. But by that divide, during colonial times, these people were left there as Ugandans, and others were left here as Rwandese.
So just Africans split with lines.
It is everywhere across the continent, in actual fact.
That's crazy.
So the issue now is, you can talk about others who migrated and went to Congo from Rwanda, or
vice versa,
whatever it is, before that, whatever it is. But there are those who are indigenous to that place. And in fact, these are the ones who are fighting, whom the government is uprooting and saying, you go back to Rwanda.
You're talking about the M23 now?
Yeah. And we have, by the 130,000 people, refugees from that group, 130,000.
From Congo in Rwanda?
Yeah. They've been living here for the last 23 years.
And Congo doesn't want them back?
It doesn't even want those who are there, who never came here.
Are they the ones labeled as Tutsi, or they're different?
Yes.
The Tutsis.
Exactly.
So that's where the Tutsi minority is also being targeted in Congo, as it was in Rwanda. And that's a big concern that you have.
That's the point.
Because you have, again, going back to the history with Congo, because after you became the leader of Rwanda, in 1996, there was a leader called Kabila in Rwanda. He was very corrupt, supported by the US during Soviet Cold War era. Then the US withdrew its support.
That was Mobutu.
Sorry, yeah, Mobutu
Yes.
was the one. Sorry, Mobutu.
Yes.
And then Kabila is the one that you supported.
Yes.
Francis Kabila.
Took over.
That took over power. And then
Yeah.
Francis Kabila and you guys, your relationship broke down for whatever reason, without going into the weeds. And then there was multiple wars where Rwanda was involved. And then he was shot by his bodyguard. His son, Joseph Kabila, took over. Then there was an election, and we have today's leader, Felix. We'll call him Felix because his last name is too difficult to pronounce.
Yes.
So Rwanda has a history in Congo. Now, this is where I try to break it down, and I see we've kind of framed the entire history, so to give at least listeners a bit more understanding of the story. But it's also very complicated in Congo. Congo, I feel, is like it's not even a country anymore. It's just, as heartbreaking it is, it's just a land full of minerals that so many different people have their hands into that pot. Countries,
more those
business.
who gain more are from outside rather than from inside.
Exactly. That's how I see Congo.
Yeah.
And it's on your border. So you're all over the media now, and every single journalist that interviews is like, are you in Congo? Is Rwanda involved in Congo? Are you supporting M23? Without really understanding the context. So I'll tell you my understanding of it, and I'd love you to correct me and give me more context. So you have a threat on your border. That threat still houses the FDLR, the same people that committed the genocide 30 years ago. They're still there on your border. Their goal is to still replace you as president, replace the entire government right now, and to still get rid of Tutsis in Rwanda. So that's still their objective. And they're doing the same thing for Tutsis in Congo. So the argument that Rwanda has concerns, security concerns, and you're still getting attacked by those groups on a regular basis, is a very valid concern that no one's talking about for whatever reason. Then there's the other argument of minerals. So the way I see it is there's all these different hands, some corrupt, some good, some bad, that are, some of them committing horrendous crimes to get access to the minerals in Congo, because it's such a wealthy country. And there's no real way of doing business with Congo. So the way I see it is there is a financial incentive for the Rwandan military or the government to be involved in Congo as well. And your preference is to do it above board. You want to do a deal with Congo, whoever's in charge, and get rid of that security threat, but also be able to do business because, you're landlocked, you have people to take care of, 13 million population. You have minerals in Rwanda, just not even close as much as Congo. So the conclusion that I came to with my limited knowledge is, you don't think the current government is doing the best job. You think they operate in a country that everyone wants it to be unstable because that's how they get access to the minerals. You think the leader of the Mr. Nanga, who's the leader of the AFD, which is the M23 is part of, he's also technically the leader of M23. He could become a better leader than the current president. My conclusion is that the Rwandan forces are involved with M23. Potentially, you last time you asked, you said you don't know if there's troops there. I come to the conclusion that there is troops there for security concerns and potentially to be able to do business. That's the only way. And your end goal is for Congo to be stable, a country that's 10 times bigger than you, for Congo to be stable, even more prosperous than you if that's possible, and to do business with Congo a peaceful way. But you're not able to reach a path to that. So that's my conclusion. I might have gotten many things wrong. I'd love to get your thoughts on everything.
I think you've kind of summarized things quite well, but let me also try to say this. If you looked at the list of 100 entities, 100 from wherever, China, Europe, US, Canada, and so on, including all of us in the region, who are interested in the minerals in the Congo, Rwanda would come as 100th. Would come at the bottom. If you ranked them 1, 2, 3, this. But the situation is such that it has been made to look like the ones least concerned with the minerals have been the ones accused for the entire problem of these 100 who get billions and billions and leave nothing behind. So Rwanda has come to be the ones to absorb it. So that is
to absorb all the blame.
All the blame. Because those that whole line up to the 99s are the people who have the power of the media, of everything. And for them, they're also benefiting from the bad politics of Congo. And most of these people probably have a share in the companies formed together with Tshisekedi.
President Felix.
Yes.
Okay.
So that is one.
Mm.
So our problem is not minerals. It has nothing to do with minerals. Ours is about security. And once we are not assured of our security and long term, we can't be thinking about minerals in that situation. No, that would be the last thing on our minds.
Mm.